G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to IL-2 Great Battles with Mags, and this time we are in Flying Circus. Now this is going to be a little bit of a short one. This is actually, call this a little bit of an experimental video. I have been listening to you guys. I am going to keep flying in VR. It's kind of been, considering my disability, a little bit world-changing on exactly what this is enabling me to do, and I couldn't be happier with it. But I am listening to what you guys are saying for the visual side. So I'm experimenting with a few new techniques. What I'm actually playing with here today, along with showing off how awesome War One Dogfights are in VR, and they really are. If the developers for Great Battles can actually move all of the assets and all of the missions and all of the maps as they are from Rise of Flight over to IL-2 Great Battles and allow them all to be flown in VR, frankly the World War I packs are going to actually be a better VR experience than the World War II ones. Just because there is something about being in VR and being close enough to an enemy aircraft that you feel like you could reach out and touch the canvas that really works in VR. It's something quite incredible. But what I'm playing around with at the moment is actually a technique where I'm using the replay system as well as some settings in IL-2 and inside of the headset to try and create a motion smoother that doesn't actually exist. I mean, if you go back to around about New Year's, you'll find a video that's a direct HMD recording from IL-2. You'll notice it's very jerky, and the replays tend to come out exactly the same way. But I may have come up with a bit of technique that will actually allow me to smooth this out. It does require me to record from the replay system, which means you are not getting an actual look at what I'm seeing inside of the HMD, which is a bit unfortunate, as I've sort of covered here before. But it should allow for a better viewing experience. Or at least that's what I'm hoping for. The other side effect of this is because none of the display footage is actually recorded live. While it's not impossible, it is difficult to get a face cam on, which is why you don't have one on this. While I'm generally not a fan of face cams on videos on YouTube, for the purposes of showing off VR, they are kind of important as they show how the user has to operate the HMD in comparison to what you see inside of the cockpit, so how the one-to-one tracking actually functions. Very important inside of something like an air combat sim where you have to move around a lot in order to be able to keep track of targets. But obviously we're not going to be able to have them on every video, especially if I continue to use this technique. But anyways, let me know in the comment section down below what you think of this video and how it's turned out, and how it all works and whether or not you prefer this. So anyways, for this particular flight, we are flying a 3-ship of Fokker D.VIIs versus a 3-ship of Sopwith Dolphins. Now, both of these aircraft are 1918 vintage fighters, and they are actually very close to the same age. The Dolphin is actually slightly older. It entered service in February 1918, while the D.VII didn't enter service until May 1918. In terms of performance between the two, while the Dolphin is lesser known, it's actually technically the more powerful. It's slightly lighter than the D.VII, and it has a slightly more powerful 200 horsepower engine. That said, the gap between the two is relatively close, although the Dolphin does feel a little bit more fragile than the D.VII inside of IL-2. But anyway, so I'm going to let the rest of this engagement play out, and I hope you enjoy it. and victory. So obviously this was just a quick battle versus the AI for the purposes of this test. Again, let me know in the comment section down below whether or not this was better, whether or not you preferred this, whether or not this little technique that I'm doing here is worth the effort of continuing. I think it looks okay, but I'm really going to leave it in the hands of you guys, the viewers, to make that call. The engagement was fun. The difficulty level for the AI was set to random. Now, at this point, I'm actually going to look down. I'm starting to use the compass, because in my single-player flights, I generally don't use any map aids or any other assistance options. So I'm manually locating, or finding my direction to actually get to my nearest airfield to put down, which is on the other side of the bay here. But I'll save you the flight home, and we'll end this one now. So, anyways, ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed this relatively short video, and thank you very much for watching. Again, I know I've said it 3 times at this point, but let me know in the comment section down below what you think of how this video is cut together, and what you think of the in-cockpit shots, whether or not these are better, whether or not they're worse, what your preference is here, whether or not I should continue using this technique, at least for IL-2. It unfortunately only works with IL-2 due to the options that are available, but yeah, let me know in the comment section down below, and until next time, also remember to click that like button if you did. YouTube's algorithm is a bit of a bastard these days, so I need all the help I can get. Subscribe if you haven't already and you want to check out more VR flight sim content, and as always, take care.